What's up, traders? Today I'm going to make you a Heikin Ashi ninja. I'm going to show you the key elements that you need to watch for on the Heikin Ashi chart. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead and do so right now. Thumbs up and ring on the notifications bell. And likewise, my friends, I do hope to see all of you on our official social networks. My name is Angie. Let's get started. Alrighty, so first let's look at what Heikin Ashi looks like and where to find it. You can switch to Heikin Ashi right here in the chart types because your entire price chart is going to change the way that it looks. But even though Heikin Ashi is in the chart types, it is actually an indicator, and we'll talk a little bit about this later. So this is the regular Japanese candlestick chart. Everything should be pretty clear here. We have the price opening, we have the price close, the price maximum, and the price minimum. A green candle obviously means that the price has increased, and a red candle means that the price has decreased. When we switch to the Heikin Ashi chart, we are going to see a similar picture, but the price is going to be, as you may notice, is going to be smoothed out. And so Heikin Ashi, with its smoothness, helps to better visualize trends and also spot reversal points. So, interesting question. Why does this happen? Why is it so smoothed out? Because, as I previously mentioned, Heikin Ashi is actually an indicator. Let me go ahead and first show you something on the split screen. So, right here is where you can choose the split screen, so you can have two different assets on the same chart, but I'm going to have the same asset displayed. I have USD JPY looking at the 30-minute time frame, and on the top we're going to have Heikin Ashi, and on the bottom we're going to have Japanese candlesticks. We're looking at the same exact asset, same time frame, and everything is exactly the same. But you can kind of like see it side by side as a comparison. What I really wanted to show you is that when we are looking at the regular Japanese candlestick chart, each new candle normally and usually opens at the previous candle's close, which is pretty logical. Although sometimes during a very volatile market, the price can open higher or lower than the previous candle's close, which is actually called a gap. Now, so when we are looking at the Heikin Ashi candles right here, let me make it just a little bit bigger, we can actually see that each new candle opens in the middle of the previous candle. Let me make the chart a little bit bigger so that we can see this. Basically, the calculation is very, very simple. Each new Heikin Ashi candle, the opening, is the previous candle's open and close divided by 2. That's why it appears in the middle of the previous candle. The close of the Heikin Ashi candle is the previous Japanese candlestick's open, close, high, and low added together and then divided by 4. Please note that I said Japanese candle. What I mean is the actual previous candle's price opening, price close, maximum, and minimum for the previous period. And so you can see that there's a lot of averaging in the calculation. Remember, like the opening is the opening and the close of the previous candle divided by 2. The close is you add the 4 elements and you divide it by 4. So there's a lot of averaging in the calculation, which is why Heikin Ashi is so smooth and easier to look at. The minimum and maximum values, so the tails or the wicks, or as others call it the shadows, is going to be the greatest value out of 3 components. It's either going to be the minimum or maximum of the previous Japanese candle, or the open of the previous Heikin Ashi, or the previous close of the Heikin Ashi. Alrighty, my friends, so how does Heikin Ashi help us in trading, and what exactly are we looking for? Undeniably, Heikin Ashi helps us to better identify. Let me go ahead and get my split screen one more time here. So we have our regular Japanese candlesticks on the bottom and Heikin Ashi on top. So it definitely and undeniably helps us to identify and ride the trends better by eliminating small price fluctuations. And this may actually be very helpful if you are a beginner trader, because sometimes it's just not that clear to see the trend on regular Japanese candles. And here I can just have the basic example right here for you. Here we see green candles, we see an uptrend, so this kind of like visually easier to look at versus this. I'm not clear, I'm not seeing clearly what's going on here. I see red candles, I see small candles, I see green candles, so it's just not as clearly visible at it as it would be on the Heikin Ashi. And likewise here, I do see a downtrend, but I see red candles, I see green candles, so it's just not that clear versus here we have a beautiful, nice, clear downtrend. My friends, I also want you to notice that I am looking at the USD JPY currency pair, and this is actually for a reason. Heikin Ashi was developed for the Japanese yen, and therefore it's advisable to use it on currency pairs that contain the JPY. You can, of course, use it on any asset, but don't forget that you may get better results reading Heikin Ashi on the moves of the yen. My friends, as far as reading the candles, here it's actually also quite simple, so please pay attention. So we're looking at the same currency pair, USD/JPY, on the 1 hour time frame. On an uptrend, you want to see big green body candles with the wick displayed above the body of the candle. The bigger the candle, the bigger the body of the candle, and the bigger the wick, the better, meaning the stronger the trend. And additionally, and this is important, you don't want to see wicks or tails or the shadows below the green Heikin Ashi candles during an uptrend. And of course, likewise scenario on a during a bearish market, so during a downtrend, you likewise want to see big red-bodied candles with the wicks displayed only below the candles, And on a downtrend, you whenever we're seeing a strong downtrend, you don't want to see the wicks displayed above the candle. So one more time, on an uptrend, we want to see big green bodied candles with the wick only above the candle. And on a downtrend, we want to see big green bodied candles with the wicks displayed only below the candles. Now, what else can Heikin Ashi show us, and what other things do we need to pay attention to? Whenever the bodies of the candles, they start to get smaller, and you see the wicks and the tails of the candles are starting to appear above and below the candles, this means that the trend is slowing. This may be a resting point or a slight correction before the trend continues its movement. We can kind of basically look at this example right here. So we have a big green body candle, big green body candle. Here we see smaller body candles. We have the wick above and below. So we had a little bit of a correction before the uptrend continued in this case right here. Let me just see right here. So basically, whenever we have these, whenever you see smaller bodied candles with wicks above and below, this means that the trend is slowing. Once again, I just mentioned, so this can possibly mean that we have a correction, or it may mean that a reversal is approaching. So whenever we observe this on the Heikin Ashi candles, we can also be on the watch out for a doji candle. A doji candle has a very small body, if no body at all, and small wicks above and below the body. Actually, kind of looks like a star. This right here is a doji. So these are basically all dojis. So they can have a really small body or no body at all. Likewise, it can be a doji like this with bigger wicks, or even bigger like this. What happens often when you see this, the doji candle, specifically on the Heikin Ashi chart, this means that the trend may be about to reverse. And we can kind of actually see this as an example. Following this doji candle, the price moved upwards. After this doji candle, we have a move upwards. Likewise, after this doji candle, we have a move downwards. My friends, dear fellow traders, you do have to keep in mind and take note that no indicator, including the Heikin Ashi candles, is going to give you 100% results. So you should most certainly combine the Heikin Ashi candles with other indicators and use it as an additional confirmation signal. It works great with levels of support and resistance, as well as other trend indicators. I do say trend, so yes, by the way, remember that Heikin Ashi is useless during a flat, non-trending market. And you can actually also combine it with an oscillator in some cases if the trend is not super aggressive. Don't forget what I mentioned about assets that contain the Japanese currency, JPY. After all, Heikin Ashi was developed and designed for the Japanese yen, so check those assets first. And you can use the Heikin Ashi candles on any time frame that you want, starting from 5 minutes and all the way up to an hour and higher, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed my lesson today and that you can now call yourself a Heikin Ashi ninja. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Give this video a like and ring on the notifications bell. And likewise, my friends, I do hope to see all of you on our official social networks. My name is Angie, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.